Hello, my name is Mr. Gullette, and this is my open house for digital discoveries and the ICT2 courses that your student is enrolled this year. A bit of a course outline. Digital discoveries is an introductory computer science course that empowers students to create authentic artifacts and engage with computer science as a medium for creativity, communication, problem solving, and fun. In addition to fundamental computer information, the content includes, but is not limited to, digital technologies associated with problem solving, computer components, internet safety and ethics, web development, animations, games, basic programming techniques, and physical computing. The ICT2 course is basically an extension of the digital discoveries classes. In ICT2, students will focus more on databases, web development, game design in the ICT2 course. How do you turn in assignments? Because of the expansive curriculum, assignments shall be turned in on several different platforms. I will provide links to all the websites that we will be using throughout the course of the year. For most tests and quizzes, it'll be on focus. Most daily assignments and classwork will be on Teams. We'll also use what's called U-Certify, and this is where they take their digital tools exams. My grading classwork is at 20%, 30% for quizzes, and 50% testing projects. We average out to have 2 tests or a test and a project per 9 weeks. And I'll go over some of those tests. So students will be able to receive what's called a digital tools certification. So they can use these on job applications, college applications, internships, all of these things. They can use these certifications that they obtain in the class for those things. So ICT2, they will be able to obtain spreadsheets, database, and multimedia. So those are some of the tests that we'll be working on throughout the year in U-Certify. So that's where U-Certify comes in. Some of my students that had me in the past, they'll be able to tell you, U-Certify, it uses a search testing engine. So they have to complete the test engine before they're allowed to take the actual test. And it works out well to kind of develop the knowledge. It's a lot of questions. You may hear them complain about the amount of questions, but I think this year we got a little bit better grasp on it, so we won't have to do so many hours of U-Certify at one time. Digital discoveries, well, like I said, they'll have the opportunity in web design, programming, and gaming. Technically, with my program, I'm allowed to do tests up to 3 times a year. So your student will have, they can get up to 3 attempts to take a test. We have different testing windows that we use, but if they fail a test, then they have to wait 30 days to take that other test. So it works out to do it 3 times a year for those testing certifications. Makeup work, 1 day per class period that you're out to get full credit. And for my online students, the expectation of DCPS is that students are present in class every day. So that means you're logged on, you're engaged. If you cannot, I try to make it clear if you cannot be in class or you cannot participate that day, to let me know in advance, so that way I'm aware of where you are and maybe why you're not participating in that day's assignment. Some of the websites that we will use include brainpop.com, learning.com, code.org, which a majority of the curriculum comes from code.org for both classes. So a lot of they'll use a lot of code.org throughout the year. Right now we're doing a lot of preliminary stuff, but they would use a lot of code.org. I will say that throughout the year we do, especially with the Duval homeroom, we'll have a lot of hands-on activities that we'll do. So if your kid, I know we did one with aluminum foil and pennies not too long ago. So if your student comes and asks you for something random like aluminum foil and pennies, then it may be for an activity that Mr. Gullette is doing. But we do use code.org. App Inventor, it's a new thing this year. We are finally a Project Lead the Way school here at Baldwin. Provides different, how do I term this? Different ways for to integrate technology into the classroom and to teach students about technology. A lot of the focus is on coding and getting students familiar with what coding is and how things work. So we'll use App Inventor, and I said in earlier classes that students will need access. They don't necessarily need it because there is a simulator on the App Inventor website, but it would be good if they had an old Android device. I know a lot of students have Apple devices. So if you have an old Android device laying around, or if you know someone that has one laying around, see if you can get that for your student so that they can use that. We'll probably start that App Inventor close to December, and students will create their own app. It's a fun process. I went through a lot of the courses myself, invented some apps. So it's a fun process. Students will have access to that. So they should, it makes it a lot more, puts it in a lot more layman terms if they can get hold of a Android device and use it. ucertified.com, as we talked about earlier. And they'll also turn in assignments on like brainpop.com. They have assignments that they turn in directly on BrainPop. Learning.com, they have some that they turn in directly on there. I do written out the instructions. So if they have something that's due, 9 times out of 10 it'll be on Teams, and I'll make sure that the instructions are clear about what they need to do. And if not, they can always get in contact with me. Tutoring, if someone is struggling, tutoring is available by appointment. I can do virtual or in person. I do want to make sure that if we are doing tutoring, I ask for consent for a parent or guardian, so just ensure that a student has transportation for once we're done tutoring. And my contact information, GULLATTE@duvalschools.org. I also have a Google number, so you can reach me on that. Shoot me a text, or you can call me on that Google number. I am the girls varsity basketball coach, so I spend a lot of time around the school. So if you need me, 9 times out of 10, I can get right back with you. So that is a brief summary of ICT 2 as well as digital discoveries. If you guys have any questions or anything like that for me, definitely feel free to reach out to me at any of these contacts, and I'll be happy to meet with you. Have a good day.